So today then we're going to finish what we're doing in chapter 3, and we're going to solve systems of linear inequalities. So we did graphs and tables to solve systems of equations. Yesterday we did substitution and elimination. So today we're going to do systems of linear inequalities, and there can be two or more inequalities to find our answer that we're trying to get. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. And our whole thing is when we graphed inequalities, we did shading to represent the area that had the solution, because there's an infinite number of points for the solution. Well, now we're going to look at a system of inequalities. So we're going to look at, in example 1, we're going to have 2 different inequalities. When we get to example 3, we're going to have more than 2. So there might be 3 or 4. And sometimes you end up with a shape that you're going to have to identify when you have more than 2. So to do this then, we're going to just graph the lines and then do the shading. And our answer then, because we've done the shading before, our answer then is going to be where the 2 different shadings go together. So please take the rulers off your pencils. Okay? They are tools for drawing straight lines. Please use them as such. Okay. All right, so we're going to graph these 2 systems. Now, how do I know whether I have a dotted line or a solid line? Okay, if it has the equals to, we're going to have a solid line. If it doesn't, it's going to be a dotted line. So our first one here, y is less than 1/2 x minus 3. That's going to be a dotted line. Okay, so I'll mark my y-intercept of -3. And my slope is 1/2, so I'll go up 1 and over 2 from there. All right. And the line I have here then is going to be a dotted line. So I think this one's dotted. And so let's see. All right. So there's that line right there. And then our other line, -x plus 2. So we mark those 2 points. So we have the y-intercept of +2. And our slope is -1, so we go down 1 and over 1. And then that's going to be a solid line. Grabbed the wrong one. I gotta get used to it now. There we go. Okay. Right. So I'm going to draw the lines before I actually do the shading then. Now, for the first one, y is less than 1/2 x minus 3. When it says less than, that means we're going to shade below it. Okay? So we will get our, let's go with orange. So we're going to shade below this line, so that's going to be down here. And let's see, let's make that bigger. All right, so this area will be shaded for less than. Okay. And then it's going to be greater than or equal to the other line. So we have this other line here, so we'll shade above that one. So we'll do that in green. And then my answer is where those 2 different shadings intersect. And so my answer here would be this area here then. Okay, what's that?
If we have like a pencil, should we just have color shaded and darker?
What you can do with a pencil is you can just do it 2 different directions. Like you could have vertical shading and horizontal shading, and that way where you have the crisscross then is, yep, that could be where your answer is. Okay. All right. Or I actually have colored pencils if you would want to use them, you could use them. So, okay. All right. So we're doing something we've done before. Okay. It's just that now we're going to put 2 lines together or more, and then our answer will be where the shading is. All right. Um, yeah, you can. Yep. I haven't really played with the calculator much doing that because I like to see it by hand. So. All right, so let's look at these two here. Y is less than negative 3x plus 2, and y is greater than or equal to 1. So the first thing you want to do is graph the lines. And make sure you graph them with the correct type of line, whether it's dotted or solid. So negative 3x plus 2, we have a y-intercept at 2. Our slope is negative 3, so that means we're going to go down 3 and to the right 1. And you can actually put more dots on if you wanted to. And I did that so that I can make my line a little easier. And one thing is I can't see these that good down here, so it's hard for me to determine which ones are which. So there's the y is less than negative 3x plus 2. That's a dotted line. And then y is greater than or equal to negative 1. Is that a horizontal or vertical line? Okay, y equals is horizontal, x equals is vertical. So this is a horizontal line at negative 1. And it's solid because it says and equal to. So we're less than the dotted line. So if I just wanted to use one color for doing this, like we're saying to Carolyn, I could do horizontal this way. Okay. And then y is greater than or equal to negative 1. So that would be above the line, right? Okay. So then I could do vertical that way. Right. And so I can see that my answer is where I have the crisscross of them. So be up here in this area. I like that better than the highlighter. I used to use the highlighter for doing them, and I like that instead. So if I have more than 2, then the lines I draw have to be exact for 1. Okay? And then I have to be careful where I shade. Okay? So we've got x is greater than or equal to negative 2, and the one advantage I have up here is that I can change my colors of my lines, and so I can shade using those colors, and then when we put them all together, we get something that looks kind of gross sometimes, you know. All right, so if x is greater than or equal to negative 2, so what's nice about all 4 of these?
Pretty simple.
Okay.
They're
all solid lines, okay? All right, they're all solid lines. So x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So let's see. Let's go, I guess we'll use the black one for that one. Is that a horizontal or vertical? Vertical, okay. So negative 2. All right, and I'm just going to draw the lines in first. X is less than or equal to 3. So that's vertical also. Let's use orange for that. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one again. Okay, that's all right. Okay. Y is less than or equal to negative x plus 1. So we've got y-intercept at 1, and our slope is negative 1, so we're down 1 over 1. let's go green with that one. Okay, so we have 3 of our lines. And then our 4th line is less than or equal to 4. Is that horizontal then?
Yeah.
All right, so, and let's go red with this one. Okay. So we have the 4 lines, okay? And the unfortunate thing is it's kind of confusing then. All right. Well, and actually it doesn't. Okay? But that's a good try, Gibson. It's not a triangle. All right? So x is greater than or equal to -2. Where's my, let me get my smiley face out here. Okay. Okay. X is greater than or equal to -2. So that means we're talking about here, right? All right. Less than or equal to 3 means we're still talking about in here, doesn't it? Okay. Greater than or equal to -x plus 1, which means that's the green line, right? Are we above or below the green line then? Above the green line. So if I take my eraser, then, okay, so we're above the green line. And less than or equal to 4 means we're below the red line. Okay. So we're below the red line. So we're talking about, let's go with this one here. We're talking about this area right here then. Which if I highlight that, so let me highlight that with a line. Let's go here. That it looks like, nope, it's not a triangle. Right? What is that? It's a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides, and 4-sided figures are quadrilaterals. Oops, if I spell it right. Okay, that's a quadrilateral. Okay, any 4-side figure is a quadrilateral. If 2 sides are parallel, it's a. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have 2 sides are parallel here? So this is a specific type of quadrilateral, which is a trapezoid. Okay, and why is it a trapezoid?
Because the 2 sides are parallel.
Okay, 2 sides are parallel. If all 4 sides are parallel, it's what? Okay, parallelogram. I mean, if the opposite sides are. Okay, all right. So any 4-side figure is a quadrilateral. If 2 sides are parallel, it's a trapezoid. Okay, so you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So which one do you want to do? A or B? B. All right. Okay, do B.